My customer experience passion emanates from my experience in strategy, design, journey mapping, culture, as well as measurement, and the implementation of customer experience is something that I'm quite passionate about. So I've been involved with CEM for a while now. I think this is my fourth or fifth conference that I'm attending. I have been a speaker as well in about 3 of those conferences, and this will be the fourth one. And for this particular conference, I was also involved in the advisory panel in terms of shaping the agenda and looking at which are the topics that will be pertinent for the audience. Customer experience is a whole organization concept. So I think there's still a lot of siloed thinking around customer experience, where businesses tend to see it as either a service issue or a measurement issue, and the holistic aspect of customer experience is often missed out. And that's the reason why you actually need executive buy-in, because without executive buy-in, it's very difficult to actually shift or transform an organization to actually be truly customer-centric. What tends to happen is you have components of the business that are looking into customer centricity, but the rest of the business is not looking into it. Unfortunately, customer experience is about a consistent experience that the customer has come to expect from a brand, and therefore we actually need the whole organization involved, and for that to happen, you do need the C-suite involved. Part of the challenge that customer experience as a profession is facing today is convincing the organization that there is value in what we do. So what you find is that we are continuously trying to prove why it's important to look at customer experience. And the reason for that is because often our actions don't actually link in to what the value benefits to the organization is. And until the organization can see that, it will not be possible to actually transform organizations to focus on the customer. So to do that, you actually need to put some action behind the strategies. We can't just be doing this at a high level or in very siloed ways that it has no significant impact. We have to actually look at it from a professional perspective. We need to put focus on making sure that there's actions, they are measurable, and that they actually link into the financial bottom line of the organization. So I have had a bit of experience in the rest of Africa other than South Africa, and what I have come to find is that South Africa is quite ahead in terms of an understanding and starting to put into place customer experience initiatives. The rest of the African countries tend to be either not started at all, or where they have started, it's still sitting in the servicing and the measurement component. And in some cases training, although there's very little training actually happening in terms of what the gap is at the moment. So there's still a lot of opportunity for us to transform organizations on the continent to focus on the customer. There is also some misunderstanding in terms of what customer experience is. So if we want the profession to stand again for the continent, we will need to do a lot more educating, not just customer experience professionals, although that's the best place to start, but also the executives and the business as a whole that are sitting on the continent. I find CEM Summit to be the biggest customer experience event on the continent. It has, over the years, grown, not just in attendance, but also in the topics covered, in the growth of the profession itself, in the understanding of customer experience. And for that reason, the insights you get out of CEM Summit are actually quite valuable. In fact, I would like to say that there's a level of training that happens at the conference, which you don't tend to find in other conferences. The biggest shifts are going to continue in the line of proving the value of customer experience. That is going to be enabled by the growth in AI that we are seeing, the growth in technology, and the ability to actually bring different data points together. And not to preempt my conversation later tomorrow, I think we're going to start looking at ways to stop being very people dependent in the delivery of customer experience, because that does have its limitations, and start looking at ways of systemizing and digitizing customer experience so that it can cover the scope with which it needs to cover for it to have true impact.